A 6-year-old child that nobody wants is quietly shaped into the Crown's secret weapon. This is part 2 of my anime recap of Robin Hobb's Assassin's Apprentice, one of the 90s fantasy books that made me fall in love with the genre. If you haven't seen part 1, I'll link it in the description. You might want to check that out. All right, let's get into it. Fitz thought the trial was the worst of it. He was wrong. Because Fitz comes home from Galen's lesson to find his world already bled out. Burrich lies wrapped in bandages. Smithy is gone. Springfest lanterns still glow in the courtyard. Music still drifts through stone halls. But Fitz can only see what the court never says out loud. The Crown does not need chains to reach you. It only needs to find what you love. And here's what Fitz does not say, because saying it would make it real. Smithy did not just die. Smithy warned Burrich. Smithy fought. Smithy bought time. And Fitz was not there. So Fitz does what he has been trained to do. He swallows the grief. He files it away. He turns it into readiness. Because this is not the first time Galen tried to break him. Before the trial, there was a day in skill lessons when Galen didn't just humiliate Fitz. He invaded him. He pushed into his mind and drove a single command in like a spike. Die. Fitz crawled to the roof as if it were the only quiet place left in the world. Not to think, to stop. And it was Smithy, through that forbidden wit bond Fitz was taught to hate, who snapped him back to himself long enough to stop his hands from pulling him over the edge. Burrich found him there. Burrich carried him like he was still a child. No lectures, no rage. Only a man who had spent years trying to beat a secret out of a boy, suddenly terrified he had beaten the boy too far. And then Burrich did something Fitz never sees with his own eyes. He went to Galen, not with words, with witness stones. He dragged Galen up to the stones that listened to truth. He demanded bare hands, no weapons, no court, no excuses. And Burrich broke Galen in front of the only judges that matter in Buckkeep, the stones, and the people who saw. Fitz hears about it afterward, like you hear about a storm that tore down someone else's roof. Part gratitude, part dread. Because if Burrich can finally choose Fitz over the rules, then the rules can choose to punish Burrich. And Fitz is still learning how this place works. Then King Shrewd makes his next move against the Raiders. Alliance. The Mountain Kingdom, high in the peaks, might stand with the 6 duchies. But alliances are never just handshakes. They are marriages. They are hostages. They are blood traded for stability. Prince Verity is to marry Princess Kettrikin of the Mountain Kingdom. And Fitz is sent ahead with Regal's party, because Shrewd wants eyes and hands in the right places before the pledge is made. Fitz is not there as a noble. He is there as a hidden knife. In Buckkeep, Chade is the one person who speaks to Fitz like he is real. But Chade never lets Fitz forget the price of being useful. He gives Fitz a task that changes the shape of his soul. Kettrikin has an older brother, Prince Rurisk. The court claims he is dying, weakened by an old arrow wound. Shrewd does not trust that story. He does not trust what a living brother might mean for succession and leverage. So Fitz is given poison. If Rurisk must die to secure the alliance, Fitz is to see it done. Fitz leaves Buckkeep carrying 2 kinds of shame. The shame of the wit, the thing that feels like love and is treated like rot. And the shame of obedience, the kind that makes you hold poison in your pocket and pretend it is duty. Jhaampe is nothing like the coast. The air is thin and cold. The palace is quieter than Buckkeep, full of carved wood and stone. Steam rises from hot springs like breath from the earth. Even the silence feels honest. Kettrikin is younger than Fitz expects, earnest, blunt, terrifyingly willing to sacrifice herself for her people. Rurisk is not a wisp of sickness. He is gracious, strong, present. And then Fitz sees the hound at Rurisk's side, and time folds in on itself. Nosy, older now, not the bright pup in the stables, but the same dog. The bond Fitz was forced to bury, the first love Burrich tore away. Nosy looks at him and knows him anyway. For a moment, Fitz is 6 again, mud on his knees, straw in his hair, a warm weight at his side that made the world bearable. Then the moment passes, and the present comes back sharp. Because if Nosy is here, it means Burrich did not simply take him away. Burrich sent him away, far from Buckheap, far from boys and secrets and knives in the dark. A brutal kind of protection. And now that protection is standing in front of Fitz, wearing Rurisk's collar. Fitz tries to keep moving. He tries to stay the tool. So Fitz does something that feels insane and honest. He goes to Kettrikin in the night. He asks her directly what she would do if someone killed her brother. Her answer is simple: justice. And then she says something worse. Even if her brother died, she would still go through with the pledge. Because she is pledged to a people and a purpose, not merely a man. It is not romance. It is duty. Fitz leaves her door and walks straight to Rurisk's chambers, because he needs to see the man he has been ordered to murder face to face before he decides what kind of creature he is willing to become. And while Fitz is wrestling with that choice, Regal makes his move. Regal does not just dislike Fitz. Regal designs the world so Fitz has no clean path through it. He keeps Fitz dulled with smoke and herbs, tired, confused, slow. He surrounds himself with men who will kill on command. And he sets Fitz up, not as an assassin, but as a scapegoat. Then the poison happens, fast. Rurisk drinks the apple wine that Regal sent. He seizes, he convulses, he dies. And in the same breath, the trap snaps shut. Cobb storms into the room, shouting accusation, pointing at Fitz like the answer is obvious. Fitz moves on instinct. Steel flashes. Cobb goes down. Then Kettrikin sees only her brother dead and Fitz standing in the wreckage. She does not debate it. She grabs a heavy copper water jug and brings it down. A white burst of light. Nothing. When Fitz comes back to himself, his wrists are bound behind his back so tightly the straps bite into skin. He is dragged. He is thrown into a stinking shed, helpless in straw and dark. And Regal comes to visit, not with rage, with calm. He kicks Fitz hard in the ribs, like he is testing how much a bastard can take. He tells Fitz what will be said. He tells Fitz what will be believed. Then he leaves him there to shake and wait. Because Fitz is not only trapped, he is also poisoned. In Rurisk's chamber, Fitz took a polite swallow of that wine. Deadroot. Not enough to kill him outright, but enough to make his body betray him. Tremors. Numbness. In the dark, something noses in. Warm breath. Familiar weight. Nosy. Rurisk's hound, grieving, newly unmoored, but still remembering the boy he used to be. Worn teeth set to Fitz's bindings. A strand at a time, stubborn and patient, until the straps finally part. Fitz can barely get his hands forward. He can barely stand. But Nosy is there, bracing him, guiding him, pulling him toward movement. Fitz stumbles out, and then Burrich finds them. Lantern light, a hand on Nosy's back, a face full of grief so hard it looks like stone. Burrich does not lecture him. He does not rage at him. He checks Fitz like a soldier checks a wound. And then an order arrives. Regal wants Fitz brought to the steams. Burrich goes rigid. Fitz can see the trap in his eyes. But an order from a prince is still an order. So Burrich hauls Fitz up and supports him step by step, while Fitz's legs tremble under him and his muscles twitch with poison. Nosy pads behind them, silent as a shadow. The steams are a separate bud of stone around a hot spring. Tile floors slick with condensation. Minerals stink in the air. Water rising and falling like breath. Regal is already there, soaking, smiling like this is a friendly meeting. He talks. He taunts. He asks Fitz to dismiss Burrich. Fitz refuses. Regal answers by taking Burrich away the fastest way possible. A man steps out of the steam with a cudgel already swinging. The blow lands with a sound like an axe biting wood. Burrich drops. Fitz drops with him. Fitz tries to crawl. His hands scrabble on tile and find nothing. His legs do not answer. Regal stands over him, pleased. He tells Fitz the story that will be told later. An accident, a slip, a shame. Then he drags Fitz across the wet tiles like a fish and hauls him to the deepest, hottest pool and throws him in. The water is painfully hot. Fitz hits it, and the heat does something terrible. The hot water loosens muscles that are already going slack from Deadroot. The last control drains out of him. He cannot swim, cannot kick, cannot even panic properly. He just sinks. And as the water closes over him, Fitz does the only thing he can still do. He lets go of his body. He drops every wall in his mind and hurls himself out through the skill, searching for help. He reaches for King Shrewd first. Closed. So Fitz reaches for Verity and finds him. Not in the mountains, but at Buckkeep, where Verity is about to witness Ketcherkin's pledge through the eyes of a skilled witness. The cord is gathered. The book of events is open. History is poised on the edge of becoming real. And Galen is there. Galen is supposed to be lending strength. Instead, he is poised like a parasite, ready to drain Verity dry at the critical moment. Fitz understands it in one flash. This was always the plan. Break Fitz, control the skill, cripple Verity. Fitz throws himself into Verity's mind and warns him. Galen tries to shove Fitz aside. Fitz clings on. Verity, already exhausted from fighting the red ships, does something terrifyingly simple. He takes Galen. He pulls everything out of him. Galen collapses into an empty body, a man-shaped husk. To the court, it looks like the skillmaster overreached. To Verity, it is a message aimed straight at Regal without speaking Regal's name. Then Verity reaches back and shoves Fitz out, back into his body, back into water and pain, back into the burn in his lungs. And then teeth clamp onto Fitz's hand. Nosy. Nosy drags him to the edge. Fitz claws stone. Fitz gets air. Fitz lives. Nosy doesn't. Nosy dies with his mouth still on Fitz's hand, as if he refuses to let go until Fitz is safe. The first bond Burrich severed returns at the end to save Fitz. Fitz wakes days later to Jhaampe, the mountain healer, to Burrich's silence, thick with fury and guilt, to Ketcherkin's grief. Rurisk is dead. Officially, the old wound took him. Everyone understands that is a lie. Ketcherkin still goes through with the pledge, because she meant what she said. She is pledged to a kingdom, and the official story is polished smooth. Fitz had a seizure. Burrich slipped and struck his head trying to help. It was an accident. Regal was concerned. Regal was gracious. Fitz knows better now. He returns to Buckkeep alive, scarred, and changed. The red ships are still out there. Verity is still holding the line. Regal is still inside the walls. And Fitz is still the bastard nobody wanted, trained in secrets, carrying forbidden magic in his bones, standing too close to the throne. He came to Buckkeep as an abandoned child. Now he knows what he is. A king's man. A knife in the dark.